What's going on, all you wild Charlie's Angels enthusiasts out there? It's your two favorite superheroes back here for Cinephellas. I am Logan Myers, my good mate over there.
And I'm Henry Fury, and we're talking about the brand new MCU movie. It's been in the works for quite a while now. We're getting it on the big screen. It just hit the big screen in cinemas this past weekend. We're talking about Brie Larson in the Marvels.
Further. Faster.
That's right. I guess in a way, this movie is like Captain Marvel 2. It brings back Carol Danvers' character, Nick Fury, and some other familiar faces, and also brings in Monica Rambeau and, of course, Kamala Khan from Miss Marvel, great TV series on Disney Plus. I'll bring them together in this trifecta, much like an MCU version of Charlie's Angels, with a lot of heart and a lot of fun.
That's right. Yeah, it's a movie that didn't take itself too seriously, like some of the Marvel movies have, with the multiverse and everything being at stake, everything relying and coming down to this. It's not that movie. It's just a fun kind of movie, much in the vein of like Shazam was for the DC films. It's just going for more fun than anything. But with the marketing leading up to this movie, the last couple of weeks before, they kind of wanted to up the stakes, and it seemed like they were trying to get audiences more excited because the tracking on this film wasn't that great, and how the box office ended up with everybody. They're trying to get more people to come to theaters to see it. So they tease something that happens in the film as being the thing that changes everything. But after watching it, there really wasn't anything that really changed everything in this movie. It's kind of false advertising.
Yeah, it's definitely the most lighthearted Marvel movie we've seen in a while, and definitely in same vein as you said in Shazam. That's how it kind of felt. Carol Danvers felt more like human in this movie, and compared to a superhero, she had some more
For sure.
stuff to work with, working off of Monica Rambeau and of course Miss Marvel's character. They really brought some nice chemistry to the screen, and Nia DaCosta directing this film, her first take in the MCU. Bringing these characters together and also having a nice arc for each character too, which is pretty impressive for the short runtime in this movie. And most are like 3 hours long. This one kind of gets to the point pretty quickly. Introducing a very boring villain in this movie, but really the heart and what this movie is all about is the three women behind me, and they all bring really great performances for the most part. Miss Marvel being really the standout.
I enjoyed her performance. I enjoyed all three of them working together. Seemed like a tight unit, a family unit, and bringing over Iman Vellani's Miss Marvel, it brought over some of the fun and the lightheartedness from Miss Marvel, the show, and bringing that and having her be part of the team now. And I like the scenes how they were able to kind of switch back and forth. Like Iman Vellani's Miss Marvel would be in trouble, and then she'd be kind of able to morph into Carol Danvers, and Carol Danvers would be able to swoop in and kind of save the day when Miss Marvel's character got in trouble. So yeah, they worked very well as a team here. The main problem with the movie is just the complete lack of a memorable villain or what they were going after in the film too. It's kind of like their powers were discovered with the bracelet, and the villain, who was part of the Kree, who we've seen before in these Marvel films. Thinking of Lee Pace back in Guardians of the Galaxy, of course. It just had a weak villain, and kind of the plot was just meant to serve and get the three of them on screen. There wasn't anything huge at stake here. And, really that's kind of where it falls short. There's nothing to get super excited about. Whereas, the Marvel movies are usually about dangling the carrot out in front of you. What's coming next? What's going to be the next big thing coming from this movie? This one felt contained, and, should have been a movie that was marketed as something that just worked by itself. It didn't have to work throughout the whole thing. It should have just been like a one-off. But, with Marvel, they're always trying to build up these phases, and it always has to be about something more. And unfortunately, that takes away from the experience of this film, because I think a lot of audience members were hoping it was going to be like the next big thing. What was promised in Quantumania, with like leading up until the next Avengers movies, it just didn't deliver in terms of that. And I think that kind of put off audiences from going to see it, and are most people are probably going to want to just stay home and watch this on Disney Plus.
I think all the fanboys really hate Brie Larson too. So that's probably
Yeah.
why it hurt. Well, I can see
Yeah.
why, her talking shit about the movies and stuff like that. But yeah, the real heart here is Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, played by Iman Vellani. She's always fantastic. I love that, series on Disney Plus. Reminded me of like a John Hughes movie or something. Brought a lot of youth and innocence to that, and brought that energy over into this film and carried it for the most part. Teyonah Parris was great as Monica. Obviously, remembered her in WandaVision. And of course, Carol Danvers, played by Brie Larson, was more tolerable, I thought, in this film compared to the first one. But I thought they all worked pretty well together. Nia DaCosta did a pretty decent job directing this movie. Had some issues with it, but it's worth the watch at least once. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing new bringing to the next chapter or anything like that. Really cool credit scene and mid-credit scene kind of leading where they can take this from here, introducing my favorite team of superheroes.
I like Kamala Khan's her family. Her parents are hilarious. They're just, always looking out for her best interests and everything that happens in the film. They provide the comic relief. So I appreciated the family. And like you mentioned, Carol Danvers was a lot more tolerable in this. She had some funny moments too on screen. So yeah, this did feel like a more of a comedy and lighthearted affair this time around. And like you mentioned, the best part of the film really is the after credit scene and what's kind of teased to what's to come. Some negatives for me: the CGI is just overabundance of CGI. It looks like a computer spaceship flying through the air and landing. It's just completely obvious, not a lot of practical effects. For people that enjoy practical effects like us, it just takes away a notch or two from the movie. But overall, I had a decent time. This isn't anything that's completely disposable of a movie like I figured it was going to be, judging by the reactions I had heard leading into it.
So I had a pretty decent time with it. Like I said, worth a watch. It's currently playing in theaters, and I'm sure it'll be up in Disney Plus here in a few months. You watch it at home, and excited to see what happens in the MCU. I'm going to give the Marvels, currently playing right now, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 Brie Larson hairpieces.
Let's not mention a great dance sequence with Carol Danvers. It's just where she becomes a princess, we'll say, in one scene. I just love the randomness of the dance sequence thrown in here.
For no apparent reason?
Yeah, for no apparent reason at all. When I was watching that, I sent you a text and I was like, wow, I didn't expect this crazy dance scene in the middle of it. Reminded me like an old 80s movie with just a dance sequence thrown into it. But yeah, this is a movie that you'll want to check out once it gets on Disney Plus. Not a movie that you need to run out to the theater to see, but you all should really appreciate what's teased at the end there. I like that. After the film, post credits, make sure to stick around for sure. With that being said, I'm going to give the Marvels, I'm going to give it the same exact score as you. I had fun. 3 out of 5 Monica Rambeau hairpieces.
So I want to hear from all you wild superheroes out there. What did you like about the Marvels? What didn't you like about it? What movie are you looking forward to the rest of 2023? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Also check out these wild rascals on Facebook, X, and Instagram at our website, Cinephellas.com, for latest, greatest TV movie news and reviews.
So I guess one Marvel film next year, Deadpool 3 is going to be it. So they're pumping the brakes on this. We just had Loki finish up. So some big things happened at the end of that. So we'll see what happens. There's been a lot of rumors of what they're going to do with the main villain for the Avengers. Is it still going to be Kang, or are they pivoting away? Seems almost as if they're going to try to pivot away. So we'll have to see how this shakes out. This wasn't terrible by any means. This doesn't destroy it or anything. They just need to kind of get back to the drawing board and get back to the scripts, make sure the writing's good. That's the main problem. They're trying to rush these out, and some of the material has been lacking. So hopefully they can figure this out, and we will be back to review all the upcoming MCU shows and Deadpool 3, of course. Can't wait to see that. It's going to be a few months, though. It's going to be in the summer now that it got pushed back a few months. But the strike is over, so we're going to have a lot of fun reviews to come. I've enjoyed reviewing this with you. We're going to be back to review Loki very soon. So until the next Cinephellas movie review, I'm Uncle Henry Danvers.
And I'm Miss Myers, signing out until the next movie review.
Jesus.